we're down to our last episode. Thank God. It's been a long, arduous season of FPF. We've gone through winter, spring, and pretty much summer. We've done 3 seasons for the price of one winter season.
I got so many people asking me if I was sick on Monday's show.
Yeah,
And I must have said it about 18 times that I was sick. And still people were like, "Please, were you sick on the show? It didn't sound like you." Really weird. Really weird.
Well, you got to cut your hair. It's too long to fit in this frame.
I know.
Oh, did you get your... oh, no! I forgot to call Crystal Cuts.
For you?
Yeah.
Call them now.
No, they're closed. They just closed.
You can't do online appointment?
Guy. There used to be no appointments till the pandemic hit.
That's all right, though. All right, we are in the final episode of the FPF winter season. Thankfully, it's been a fascinating year for all of us. We didn't know we were going to be back. We're going to finally crown champions for the first time in 3 years in all the divisions that we have left to play.
Now, let's clarify that for the winter season.
Yeah, winter season.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because we technically did spring and
yeah.
fall already, but
This
winter is the...
it's gone idle for 3 years almost, pretty
Yeah.
much. And so now we're back, and the light is there at the end of the road for us as we have Broadsword this weekend, Saturday afternoon, Sunday evening, and a lot to get to here. We're going to have on the guest writers who will preview the finals. And, in fact, a few of these guys will be involved in the finals for the broadcast. And maybe we'll have the lineup ready for unveiling their piece, perhaps, maybe, yes, no?
No.
Okay, no it is.
Well,
we know one pairing.
we know a few pairings. Do you want to know which ones I know?
Well, we know one. We did 3, Mocon and Dan Lazarra.
Do we know that one?
Yes.
Div 6 will... I'm Div 6 and Div 6D, I'll be doing play-by-play.
Yes.
Combination of Iggy Magnets and Alexi Dubois on color commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know which one yet, just because while we're doing the show, I'll be working on trying to resolve the details.
Yes.
So if I seem distracted at times, I think it's been more noticeable this season because of how our schedule got shifted, that there's some work that needs to be done during the show.
Yeah.
That sometimes you catch me off guard and I'm only half paying attention because I'm working on something else. This is going to be one of those shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can't
so,
wait.
but I know that we're going to be unveiling Alexi Dubois as play-by-play.
Yeah. Worked with him
He'll
for a
be
bit,
calling at least one game, the co-ed game, and we'll have Alex Blade doing some color commentary in Division 5.
And
So they're both new. They're both new to the fold in those capacities.
I did work with Alexi a little bit, and we are now joined by the Prime Minister, Alexi Dubois. Good evening, Mr. Prime Minister. How are you today, sir?
Good, thanks. How you guys doing?
Not
Very
bad.
well.
Just so you know, before you came on, Mo was about to take credit for the great job you're about to do in play-by-play, insinuating that it was all his fault. I don't know if you know this about sports media, but it's mostly about ego and the conveying of said ego. So welcome, Alexi.
Hello, hello.
All right, Alexi. By the way, are you nervous for Saturday for your initiation as a broadcaster at the play-by-play level?
I'm looking forward to it. Still a lot of preparation work to do. At life, I said I got started on that already, but it seems fun. I'd like to think I know a decent amount about the team, so hopefully that should help, but should be a good time, and hope I won't make too much of a fool of myself.
Well, so the next thing I want to ask, as I continue my preparation for the roadshow, are you available to call Division 5B as well? No pressure.
Definitely. Of
Awesome.
course, but the question is, will there actually be audio for it?
Oh,
we don't know.
hey.
Because making his producer's debut for that show
easy.
is Iggy Magnets.
And
The next question I have for you, Alexi, is the following day. Actually, no, because you can't call Division 6 because co-ed is right before. Okay, never mind. I'm
We're
done
good.
with questions.
all right, we got a question for you for the co-ed finals, co-ed 1 and co-ed 2. You've covered this from head to toe. So we'll start with co-ed 1, co-ed 2. We'll go co-ed 1 first. Power Rangers, easy fun. Your thoughts on this game here as we approach the opening game on Saturday afternoon for these two teams?
Yeah, sounds good. So I was looking into this one a little bit before, my big 5 minutes of research before the phone call. So my number one takeaway of it is Eastland has done a lot better job this season of implicating female players in their pass game Specifically, I believe it's Véronique Baudouin, who has around 240 receiving yards on the season, which is fantastic. It's a marked improvement from their first season in the Fall Cup. That being said, look at the touchdowns. She only has 2 touchdowns on the season. Now, if we look at Power Rangers, their leading female receiver is Jasmine Farmer, who won Receiver of the Year in Co-Ed 1. And the reason she won Receiver of the Year is because she has 14 touchdowns. So what this tells me is when the going gets tough, when it's in the red zone, when it's 4th and goal and you need that touchdown, Jeremy White is looking towards Theo Lavigne and Maxime Boucher-Cyr. On the other hand, when it's 4th and down for Power Rangers, Tam Valadiv is looking at every single one of his receivers, starting with his female receivers and then Pilon and the rest. So I think when it gets to that red zone area, Power Rangers have a lot more options than Easy Fun does.
So in that case, with PR having more options, how does Easy Fun contain those options?
I think that's a really hard one for Easy Fun to do. For starters, you cannot man up against Power Rangers. There's no one in Co-Ed 1 who can man up against Surge. There are no female players who can man up against Farmer and Miller, for starters. So you need to run a very effective zone defense. Now, the one thing that Easy Fun do have going for them is they're a very aggressive team. They shoot a lot, and they're very good at jumping those shorter routes. If you look at Tam Valadiv this season, he's coming off an extremely gruesome elbow injury. There's been speculation that he has slight arthritis in his throwing elbow, and if you watch him play, look back to the game of the week against Party Mix, his throws don't have the same zip they usually do, and they're coming in just slightly slower. So what that means is an aggressive defense who starts shooting things has the possibility to create interceptions against Valadiv when normally they wouldn't. So that's where Easy Fun have the advantage.
Will the height of Easy Fun also create some difficulties for Party Mix? Oh, sorry, for Party Mix.
That's a good question, but I think no, because I don't think Easy Fun's offense relies on jump balls. Easy Fun's offense
more on the defensive side, like Tam Valadiv and for shorter quarterbacks, sometimes the throwing windows are more difficult when there's taller defenders.
Oh, that makes sense, but I don't think Tam Valadiv is your typical quarterback who throws from a 2-step drop. He's scrambling to his left, he's scrambling to his right. He's third in Division 2 against 6'5" rushers like Isaiah Lard.
True.
He knows how to create those windows, so I don't see an issue there.
Who's an X factor in this game that no one's going to talk about that could step up for either side?
The usual X factor in every single Power Rangers game is Wade Shawcross. He's someone that for some reason no one ever talks about, except look at any single Wade Shawcross season ever. He's good for 5 interceptions. Be it Division 1, be it Division 6. He is good for 5 interceptions, which means there's a 50% chance he has a pick in this game, and I'm willing to bet he probably has the game-deciding interception in this final.
The reason why I don't talk about him personally is because he plays for the hated Mongoose who cost me a championship many years ago in 2013. So that's why it's personal. It's absolutely personal. It's completely biased, and that's who I am. So that's it. That's why. I've instructed the rest of the media team, don't talk about him.
Put on the clock there.
You have to respect the headband. He rocks that Nike headband. Got to respect that.
We don't talk about Shawcross.
And Sports Here is a proud sponsor of FPF.
Yes. Why? What happened?
He said Nike headband.
Oh yeah, seriously, no, you can't wear that during the finals. It's gonna be broadcast.
We're gonna blur it out. Anything that's
can you blur out Wade Shawcross's face, like the mosaic, like face blocking technology? Do we have that?
You're asking for a lot, but maybe.
Listen, we keep saying we want to innovate every roadshow. Maybe this is the innovation we need.
Any other observations from Co-Ed 1 that you want to bring up, Alexi, that people look forward to, that should be a very fascinating game between these two teams at high noon on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, the final thing to look at. Look, this game is to be decided by the Russia versus Jeremy White battle. This Easy Fun offense is reliant on Jeremy White creating time and scrambling around. I presume Valadiv is going to be rushing like he has all season. He's a fantastic athlete and an even better rusher. That being said, he doesn't have the size to get into passing lanes. But Jeremy White generally takes 4 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. If that time goes from 4 to 5 to 3 to 4, Power Rangers win 100% of the time. If White has time, Easy Fun win. If he doesn't have time, there is no route to victory for them in this game.
On to Co-Ed 2.
So you're a route guy, not a route guy.
Yes.
All right. Now we know.
Route is what you run as a receiver. Route is what you have of a tree.
It's you mean the root tree or the route tree?
You're confusing them, please.
Now I'm confused. Yep.
Confusing him. Co-ed 2. Kiss My End Zone, and of course Fit Squad. That'll be on the Sunday 4 o'clock kickoff of day 2 of Roadshow. Your thoughts, Mr.
We're a minute 49 seconds into this.
I know.
Okay.
Your thoughts, Mr. Prime Minister?
Well, it always sucks to analyze your game a little bit, but I think the number one thing to look at in this game is interceptions. Keith has said this many times through podcasts and through articles. There's two versions of David Andrade. There's the version who comes out, passes for 170 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, 50 rushing yards. And there's the version who will come out and throw 3 interceptions and make things dicey. If you look at the last game between Kiss My End Zone and Fit Squad, you saw both of them in the same game.
Yeah.
Throughout the first half, he was perfect. He went, I think, for over 100 yards, 3 or 4 scores, and it looked like we were about to run away with the game. In the second half, he decided to make things exciting. He decided to bring up people's heart rate a little bit. If he gives Kiss My End Zone a first half like he did in the last game against Fit Squad, this game should be decently comfortable. If things start getting more complicated, if Fit Squad start changing up their defense, and I know Salim Tai is an extremely capable defensive coordinator, then things get more complicated for Kiss My End Zone. If I can keep on rambling on here, I know you guys have more questions set up.
No,
but
please
Squad,
ramble.
We
Please
insist.
ramble.
We insist.
There's nothing I like
Perfect.
more than people rambling on
Yeah,
our show.
we insist on this, please.
I'm sure, perfect. So then, for Fit Squad, I shouldn't tell them this probably, but they have a very simple recipe to success. It's pass the ball short. Félix Goulet has a fantastic arm. Hands down, the most talented thrower of the football in Co-Ed 2. Probably arm talent-wise on par with any Co-Ed 1 quarterback, except he takes advantage of that a little bit too much. He loves the deep ball, and he'll force it deep when he has 5 and 10 yard open short. If he takes those short options, it's going to be really complicated for Kiss My End Zone.
So, as you mentioned, of course, it was the best of David DeAndre. It was the worst of David DeAndre. But from Fit Squad's perspective, what specific challenge do they pose that you feel you need to prepare for? So it's a question about them, but framed about you.
So the number one asset that Fit Squad have is, and I'm very sorry I forget his name, but they have the best rusher in Co-Ed 2. If Alex can quickly pull up the stats and make me look smart here, that'd be amazing. But their rusher is exceptionally fast, very shifty. Dave is a quarterback who loves breaking the rusher and gaining those extra seconds. Consistently against, there we go. Hugo is a fantastic rusher. And last time we played against them, Dave's forced to constantly throw the ball with anticipation before the rusher got there. And that's not the best version of David Andrade. He's at his best when he breaks the rusher. And against a rusher like Hugo, he doesn't have that option. So if Hugo shows up and plays his best game, it's going to force a worse version of David Andrade.
So when you look at these two teams here, obviously with your team involved, if this ends up being a low-scoring game, who does this benefit the most?
That's a good question. Thinking about it a second. That's why I said it's a good question. It gives me a second to delay and think. I'm going to, since I don't really know the answer to that, I'm going to say Fit Squad. If you look at their semifinal game against Yin and Yang, they ground out a really close-fought victory, and they managed to make it work. And the other reason I say it benefits Fit Squad is I think Kiss My End Zone are coming into this one expecting to score 4 touchdowns or more. I think Fit Squad are confident enough in their defense that they say, if we score 3 touchdowns, we have an above 50% chance of winning the game. Whereas I think Kiss My End Zone are going in presuming they'll score more than 3. So if it's low scoring, it plays into the hands of Fit Squad.
All right, then. Before we let you go, Mr. Prime Minister, you're going to have your picks, I would assume, in your article?
Oh, yes. Article hopefully will be coming out Friday night or Saturday morning. Depends how many games Pease gives me to prepare for play-by-play, but we should have it out soon.
Okay.
So far, 2.
Yeah, you only have 2.
You might have 3. But the third one will be...
4.
If it's 3, the third one is Sunday.
Maybe 4.
Perfect. So that's a Saturday night problem.
Without indicating who your pick is, we won't ask you for Tier 2, but for Tier 1 co-ed, who are you leaning towards right now without giving your pick?
Look, I think this is a decently obvious one in the scheme of things. Power Rangers are coming into this one as the favorite. If you look at it, this game will come down to the match between Vidalita and Jeremy White. So the way you look at it, right now, White is a Division III quarterback going against a good Division II rusher.
Mhm.
White needs to have a great game to win, whereas Power Rangers can probably win with average. I won't say any more. There's a lot up to chance, but Easy Fun have the burden of doing something exceptional in this game.
All right, Mr. Prime Minister, get back to your prep work for your finals. Thank you very much for your hard work and exceptional scribing during the winter season for your articles.
By the way, I'll take full credit for Alexi's articles. You know, I was a great mentor to him as a writer, and I take full
Oh
credit.
yeah, all my articles are Peace trained, and all my play-by-play is Mo trained. Nothing
Exactly.
comes down to me. It's all thanks to Mo and Peace.
It's like when you watch like analysts talk about the game, and they talk about how they pushed the athletes to do better. It's because of what I said on my show that Kevin Durant made more shots or whatever it is. Like it's I love how ego soaked it is. It's the best thing in the world.
Well, you know what? You're gonna do fabulous with your play-by-play call that you have this weekend, and enjoy
Fingers
it.
crossed.
Yeah, you will. You'll be fine, and enjoy it. We'll see each other on the weekend, and your article will be out if not Friday night, early Saturday morning for those to read before they play their games on the weekend.
Pressure's on. Thanks so much, guys. Have a nice day.
Be good, brother.
All
All
right.
right, thanks, Alexi. Ciao.
Talk to you soon.
The Prime Minister.
There we go. That's go ahead.
That's it. 10 minutes,
Maybe.
perhaps. It was a little more than 10.
We're exactly at 8:07 into the show.
Yeah, I know.
For those of you watching the timestamp, it'll never add up
Exactly.
because I forgot
You'd be confused.
to hit start.
We're going to try and delay 1 and 2 with Brent
Cool.
because he's a little bit occupied right now, so we can do Div
Tough.
6 or
Congrats
Div
on the
5,
sex, bro.
whichever one you
We'll,
prefer.
we'll go 6. We'll go 6. We'll go 6.
6 or 6D first.
Should we call the writer for Div 6?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Can you call Paulo, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. Let me get him on the phone here.
Thank you so much. As we get Paulo on the phone, we'll have him on right now. And
Hello.
hello, hey, Paulo, what's going on, man?
Nah,
Nah, it's not bad.
Good.
Just chilling.
Chilling,
you
you
know.
know.
Excellent.
Doing some work, trying to pay attention to Volkan at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's not easy, man.
I'm trying to make this the worst audio experience of all
It
time.
really is, but you know, it doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, you're right, because we're not listening.
No, exactly. We have so many things to cover here.
Yeah.
Killer Rays, Maccabees are your game on Sunday at 6 p.m. for 6D.
You're really good at talking through delay.
Yeah, no,
A lot of guys can't do that.
I know. So your thoughts?
You're
on
a
the game.
professional.
I've done this a few times.
Before we, let's hang out. Let's kill this because that's terrible.
Well, we could have kept on going here. All right. So we got Killer Rays, Maccabees. Killer Rays, we know they are one of the best teams in this division. And you got Maccabees who have a chip on the shoulder because we kept on picking against them.
Sure, if they think that's what happened.
Well, they were not happy with us.
I mean, we live in a world with alternate facts, and Maccabees seem to be the
fake
guilty.
news.
They are the fake news. It's so I've started my write up. I'm not going to pick my games here. I'll
No.
do that in my article. The interesting thing about Maccabees v Killer Rays is that I think it's a bad matchup for both teams.
And how so?
So Maccabees really grind the game down into the mud. They like playing it close. They play this sort of it's a little risky in that there's not going to be a ton of points scored generally because I'm going to address the next part of that in a second. But they've stopped listening and they're just going to freak out the first sentence, right? So
Right.
it doesn't matter. But throughout the season, we saw them competing in a lot of close games. And I often say that winning close games, there's an element of luck to that because a ball can bounce a different way and it's a different game. However, where there is skill in that is the ability to stay calm, to deal with the pressure, to be confident that you're going to pull it out despite the high stakes. And I think Maccabee do that really well. We've seen them starting to score more. They put up 33 points on Cavalier de Rohan.
However, did not score any points in the second half.
So, but that's the thing is, I don't think that is a negative thing for them because the way they play, again, is to drag you down to the mud. So once they got a comfortable lead, they're okay just playing defense, playing field position, eating up time possession. There wasn't, if the offense wasn't particularly efficient, they relied on 2 rushing touchdowns and a pick 6. That's not entirely repeatable, because a pick six depends largely on the type of interception, right? Like often a pick six comes in the flat, or it comes when you're in the defender's part, the other team's part of the field.
Yeah.
And rushing touchdowns, it's a missed flag, or if you're playing against a better rusher, that might not be repeatable. So that's something to examine moving forward. But like we also saw that in the previous game against 7th rounders, they didn't put up as many points, but 25 points is a solid showing, a little bit less than you'd like to see in the playoffs. But again, got up to a lead and was able to just control the pace of the game. And Shimmy Khan's in that game was more efficient. So we've seen him play a style of football that can be more efficient, that doesn't require him to have to score on the ground. In that game, he only ran for 17 yards. So it wasn't a huge part of the repertoire, just enough to keep the team off balance. So the thing I like about Maccabees is they can win in a lot of different ways. Killer Rays win in one way.
To kill you with rays.
They kill you with rays.
Kill you with rays.
I was going to say that they stab beloved celebrities through the heart, but no, they take deep shots. That's their game. They love throwing the ball downfield. They have ridiculous athletes. They know they have probably the best receiving core in the division. They put up 37 points last week. They put up 44 points in the first round. Tyler Bianchi, I think we talked about this. He completed 11 passes, Mo. 6 of them were touchdowns.
Yeah, we did that. The one for every 2 touchdowns.
Right. So and it's because Curtis Ryan is awesome. Tyler Gruberg is really good. Evan White wasn't even as impactful as I think we expected going into the season. And he's still obviously someone you need to account for, because if you the thing is that somewhere along the line you're gonna have a mismatch, and they know that, and they're gonna put the ball up, and it's high risk, high reward. But if they can put up a lead quickly, that plays into the Killer Rays' advantage. I've been a fan of theirs since I saw them for the first time. I want to say either fall or spring. To be honest, both of those seasons kind of rolled into one for me. So I don't remember when it was, but from the first time I saw them, I said they're a fun team. I don't know if they played winning football yet. I think as they move up in the divisions, they have to make some adjustments. But for the meantime, it's working. So you know what? Keep taking the disadvantages. Keep taking the advantages to your benefit. Keep putting up points and keep doing damage.
As you do that, my headset went cracked.
Oh, sorry.
By the way, these two teams, one game separated themselves from 7th to 10th in the overall standings in Conference B of the bigger Div 6 body that we had. So,
yeah.
But the thing is, though, you made the points right there. For Maccabees, I'm curious to know. You mentioned them scoring 33 points in the first half. They had nothing in the second half. They average about less than 18 a game.
So, but in the playoffs, their offense has been better.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
Could they revert to that though? Because
they can because we don't have a huge sample size, right? So, but if there's a team in this division, I'm confident that can win a low-scoring playoff game, it's Maccabees. Here's the thing: if it's a blowout, Killer Rays will win. If it's close, I think Maccabees got it. So, what kind of game do you think it'll be, Mo? Do you think it'll be the blowout, or do you think
it'll
it'll
be high scoring? But it won't be favoring Maccabees.
So in that case, do you think Killer Rays win the blowout?
I think so. Yeah, I think if Maccabees can't hit 30, they're not going to win this football game.
Do you think Maccabees have the defenders to deal with the depth? It's a pretty across the board. It's a pretty good matchup, right?
Yeah.
Maccabees' defense throughout the season is part of why they were able to control the pace of games.
Well, look,
I actually talked about this.
Titleman had 9 INTs this year, right? So
Yeah.
he can lock one side. As a whole, I believe they had almost 18, if not 19 INTs as a unit, and the 2 pick sixes. So they do have the panache to make a big play on defense if required. But in this context that they're in now, can they do that if they can't muster any points?
Well, but the thing is, they can because of the play style of the Killer Rays, because of the low efficiency offense, right? So, I legitimately don't. I can see both game scripts. I see it going one of two ways. Look, if if Maccabee show up and just starts going score for score with Killer Rays, awesome. I'm super happy. It's the kind of game I love to see in the finals. I hate boring defensive games and I hate blowouts, right? I'm kind of predicting one of the two things that I
hope
hate.
it happens for you.
But honestly, I love fast pace. Like, I famously don't even like to huddle much when I run my offenses, right? So essentially, I like teams that play at a high pace. So I'm hoping that's the kind of game we get. They might surprise us, and that might actually surprise Killer Rays as well. But if I'm creating sort of the game script, I think Michael Titleman, Jordy Melnick, Jonathan Yeagerman. That's a good 3 players on defense. I think they're one short to really neutralize the Killer Rays offense, though.
On to 6. So we got Thunder Buddies against Prime Time. That will be a Sunday 5 o'clock kickoff. So we know about Thunder Buddies. This is a team that the many opposing teams did not want to face in their
because they're not a Div 6 team.
No, in their
and they didn't do anything wrong. The players all meet the cap. Terry Babelis is his first time as a full-time quarterback, but he surrounded himself with, let's say Division 4 and up talent.
Let's say a lot of mercenaries on that roster that they can come in there and crush the souls.
That's a team whose cap hits will all be going up, except for Will Power already has a high cap. But look, it was a well-built roster, right? So Thunder Buddies, Terry Babelis understands the league well enough to know, listen, I have a lot of unrated guys, so it gives me the ability to have myself with a high defensive rating and Will Power with the high offensive and defensive rating, since everyone else on the roster is 55, knowing that they're all going to play above the level of 55.
It's like, when you sign, for those who sign for, whatever, a phone deal or a cable deal, whatever it is, with a telecommunications company, hey, for the first 2 years, you're going to pay this much money, and it'll go up, right? Like the cap will, right? That's what it is. He has a massive amount of bandwidth at a very super cheap price that he's able to maximize and enjoy this run before it spikes up in the coming whatever season or two.
No, season together. For sure. Like,
but if they come back,
we're
right?
not going to do that today because we have other things to cover. But guys like François Rochette, David St. Jean, Corano Johnson, they're not staying at 55.
No,
like,
they're not.
And Terry Babelis' quarterback rating, I think, will preclude him from playing in Division E in spring. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just guessing based on his success this season.
For prime time, close one over Wild Hogs. What is their course of action?
69.8, by the way. So yes, he will have to be D.
All right.
Nice.
Fair enough then. What is their
69 and Division D? That's a good sentence.
It's
Eagle.
a very nice.
Well
sentence.
done.
Very nice, Eagle. Prime time. What can be their solution or their course of action in trying to win this game?
They call themselves the best defense in the division. Carter Condon's amazing. Alessio Miro, George Zerjotis, they're nice complementary pieces on their defense. Ari Zerjotis as well. This team also has a lot of interceptions. They have sort of a rusher by committee, it appears. So, I'm curious to see how they handle that. Their main rusher only played 5 games in Ethan Adrian. So I'm curious to see if they go with a single rusher or if they do rush by committee next game. Ethan Adrian did have 5 sacks. He matched the season total when he sacked Jason Armenti 5 times against Wild Hogs the previous week. So if he's there, I expect him to be the number 1 rusher.
Okay, so in that case, when we look at this right now for what could be the situation in this matchup here, we're saying it's the ultimate Goliath against the little minnow Davids of this world here. Jacob Souls. The name's very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Football family. They have a history.
FPF family, too.
FPF family as well. Could there be a scenario where they will make this game molasses and really slow it down and make it boring as bleep?
Terry Babelis won't let that happen.
Let's say he does. Let's say you know what? Let's make it molasses.
So I actually have I agree with Mo on this one a little bit. So I've been looking at the Thunder Buddies schedule. Here's an interesting trend. Week 9 is when they scored their lowest amount of points for at 20 versus V-Town. But since then, the quarterfinals and the semifinals have been their next lowest scoring games, including the last game where they only put up 21 points against FKU. So that strategy might actually work in terms of
it's what Primetime has. It's what Primetime has to do. I think Jacob Souls will struggle to buy time with his feet
Yeah.
Because Terry Babel is, again, we talked about it on Monday's show. He's destined to be a Hall of Fame rusher in FPF.
He asked me who's my comparison. I forgot who the comparison was supposed to be. Remember, I was like, "Oh, I can't see that name."
Oh, you didn't say it. You
I
actually
know,
didn't
and I
tell us
forgot
after.
it.
So
And I forgot the name.
jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I was trying to trick him.
So I think Jacob Souls needs to avoid mistakes. If you have a receiver who's going downfield with willpower, I don't care if you think he has a step. Willpower will win that ball in the air every time. It's his ability to high point is amongst the best in FPF. Like not in Division 6, in all of FPF. We've seen it now with Will in Division 3, Division 2. He's not the fastest dude. The routes are good. He's not like, the most refined route runner we've ever seen. But his hands and his ability to go get the ball in the air is next level. He's amongst the best in FPF.
Should they get physical with him if they can?
Yes, that's the thing you got to do.
I think he gets irritated by that.
It's just not his game, right?
No,
Like
it's like a mosquito bite that irritates him.
yeah, there are guys who enjoy the contact, and sort of play through it, and that's not Will's game. Will's very much a finesse player. So there's that, and then you need to be careful of Corona Johnson, David St. John on defense, and you need to do that all while Terry Bablis is rushing you. It's a lot to ask.
It's a layered cake of
Yeah.
like, okay, it's gonna taste great if you are the whole process of Thunder Buddies, but if you're prime time, you need to kind of sour their mood, because I think, look, we could talk about some of the finals that could be blowouts, right? This could have a forensic touch of a blowout.
The
coming
concerning part is, Eagle mentioned it. They haven't been clicking on offense last 2 weeks.
which could be a benefit for
prime
prime
time?
time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like because Thunder Buddies haven't been clicking, it's there's a chance that this doesn't get to be a blowout because of that. Because the defense is legitimate. Like they're really good. I heaped a bunch of praise onto Will Power.
Yeah.
And the rest of the Thunder Buddies, but Carter Condon might be the best defender in the division. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have the experience that a lot of other guys have, but just the raw skill is there. The guy can play higher divisions now.
I know there's some other games that are going to be heavily favored final matches, but if we do see an upset and primetime wins, would that be the biggest upset of the week?
No, Primetime's really good. It's not a sexy style of play.
No, you're not coming for the food.
No, that's what you want from Thunder Buddies,
Yeah.
right? Like, what? You're not coming for the food?
Well, no, primetime is you're not going for the food. It's the ambiance.
Okay. Well, now we know.
Thunder Buddies,
No,
you're
I
going for
know.
the food because that's.
But I feel like you would want the opposite. You would want good food and shitty ambiance, wouldn't you?
No,
Like
it's
I'll take like a dive in the wall
But
rather than a
it's-
super fancy
but
place
it's-
with the food.
It's
that's-
like the Lakers, though,
us.
right? See and be seen, right? You're not going for the game. You're not going for the team. You just want to be at the Laker game.
Well, this season you're not going for the
No,
team.
exactly. That's why.
Which anyone who knows anything about basketball knew Russell Westbrook wouldn't fit in that team. But
Of course
I
not.
digress.
Well, Frank Vogel was saying, but they want to listen to Frank Vogel. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Buddy Hield would have been a better fit. I'll die on that hill.
course.
I'll die on that hill.
But he would have been better.
That
DeMar
that
DeRozan
move
would've been
ruined the careers of Buddy Hield and Russell Westbrook at the
Oh,
same time.
man.
Anyway, I digress. No, the thing is that let's think with it. Let's think with it. When you watch Thunder Buddies, you're coming for the steak. You're coming for the shrimp. You want the flash, right? Like it's a high end meal, and it's out there on display. Prime time, it's laid back. The light is perfectly dimly set. The right kind of people are let in. The music's perfect. It's just a nice spot, right? And that's their comfort, I think. I don't know. I don't really understand your comparison, so I'm just making do with it.
Fair enough.
But
All right.
but I'm a good teammate, and I'll support you, Mokan.
Perfect. On to
Division 5.
B.
Sure.
That's what I was going to set up right now. Division 5B. This has a lot of FPF influence in this game. It is Trap Stars against Lockdown, our very own Eagle, somehow finagling his way through into the funnel.
Do you want to interview Eagle while I urinate?
Yeah. Let's do that.
That wasn't. It was framed as a question. I didn't mean it as a question.
Yes. As PZ goes to unload some urine. Eagle, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How excited are you?
Very honestly. For those that don't know, I started playing in winter 2010 and have not missed a season. So I think this is like season number 25 for me or something.
You're like the Andrew Whitworth of like not making it to the big game. Now you finally do.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into it. So Trap Stars, this is a team that had a close win over Warriors. I was there to witness that. Cooper Young. Oh my! Is
Trying to get the game on the screen. So
is North Korea invading the Trap Stars here? What's going on here? Okay, so Cooper Young. I look at his ability, his ingenuity. He has the skill set to win it with his legs and his arm. And look, I'm asking you your game plan here, but if there is a pressing concern about him as a player, what is it that makes you feel like, okay, he can do this against us?
I think the main thing that I'm worried about from our team is not the rushing or basically the ability to buy time with his feet. I think Reese Morgan Tracy is going to be able to take care of that. What I'm more concerned about is the high completion percentage, which means that he can read a field and understand where the windows are and complete them. So a lot of our strategy, especially on defense, is around playing our game and waiting for the mistake and capitalizing on it. And this season, Cooper Young has not been a quarterback that falls into that trap, right? So I think from a defensive perspective, we need to force him to make mistakes, of which he doesn't do very often. So that's probably the biggest concern that I have.
So who is a bigger concern from a receiving core standpoint? Is it Ryan Garber, who had a monster game, the eventual game-winning touchdown on his hands, or the best hair in Kyle Le Cheveux Oberfell?
Oh, no, it's Ryan Garber by far. I mean, that's a terrifying matchup on the field. He gets the majority of their targets. He gets the majority of their touchdowns. I think he had 16 over the year. Plus, like you said, clutch situations. He's their main guy. So he's the one we need to take away and force Cooper to go to other people. And let's be honest, he doesn't really use the rest of his receivers as much as he uses, let's say, his top three guys in Garber, Oberfield, and Namer. So
yeah, Namer had a pretty good role as a third option. But, when I look at this team here for Trap Stars, I'm really intrigued by their defense and what they do on that side of the football. They bend, but they don't break as often as some might do. And when you look at your quarterback in Buccaneer, we're going with Buccaneer, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Just want to make sure.
He's back. So
He's back.
He's no longer Tyreed.
No. But when you look at Buccaneer, he's had a bit of a twitchy playoff run. The first game that you guys had in Lachine, the day you flew out, he didn't look like he was himself or comfortable. So does that concern you as a captain that if he gets off to a disjointed start, it could really turn the tables against you guys?
Absolutely. I think the biggest struggle Buck has had this season is falling behind and putting pressure on himself. Having known him for a long period of time and been at the poker table with him, he very much is a tilter. And so it's a matter of making sure we control that pace, control the tone of our offense, play our game. I mean, I know that sounds cliche, but it comes down to, and obviously I'm not going to tell you guys how I play.
Oh, you're right. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
you don't know.
We have no idea.
I could call your defenses from the booth.
Yeah. Like literally he can. He beats you in defense.
I'm sure he can.
You gave him some nice cannolis last summer.
It's true.
But it's about not making the mistake.
But
right?
the thing is, so I've played a lot of defenses. Let's say there are teams I've played often. Lockdown's one of those teams. Lockdown is not a team that beats you with deception. They beat you with execution. Is that a fair assessment?
Yep.
And so,
but when I do deceive you, you don't see it coming. That's the thing.
Yeah, because you.
Sorry, Pete. Do you mind fixing my headset for me, please? If you don't mind.
Jesus. What about now?
Hello? Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, good.
You got to take it out. There you go. Hello? You got to take it out again.
That's not working. The pen's too shallow. What about now?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Can I continue speaking since
I can't hear you? I can't hear myself anymore. It's like in and out.
Is this going to be the women's finals all over again?
Yeah, it is. Where are we? All right. Carry on as you were saying before. Now I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. I have your permission to continue
Yes,
speaking.
carry on. Please, I insist.
I have that hole in my. We need to fix the hole in my eye for next season. By the way, it's very distracting.
It's like you're
don't
like
look up.
It's like you're like the T9000.
Thanks,
over
Adam
here.
McKay.
The T9000 over here.
Yeah. So the thing with lockdown, so like where your deception is effective is that you roll it out once or twice a game. The last time we played, I remember the only stop you got was turnover on downs where you did something I didn't expect, and there we go. So that works if it's a close game, right? The thing is, if you're paying attention, it's easy to dissect what Eagle does. It's then your opportunity to excel at execution better than Lockdown does, which is not particularly easy. And you're doing so against Cooper Young, who's a fairly new FPF quarterback, but
He has FPF experience, though.
Sorry, yeah, he has FPF experience, and his play has been phenomenal.
And their dads are super fans of ours, by the way.
Cool. Well, now we know we're no longer cheering for.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Well, when does your dad watch the show?
No, he doesn't.
So
Although
my
he might
dad
come
doesn't
to
watch.
the
You
game.
know, my dad. I know my dad doesn't watch the show because he knows that we record every Thursday, and he still calls me every Thursday.
that's okay, though. That's
Yeah.
nice. Is this for lockdown, Eagle? I mean, look, the division wasn't that tough. I mean, I know Speakeasy took you guys to the last play in the conference.
They
finals.
shouldn't have. Let's be real.
Right, but is this the toughest matchup?
Maybe. I mean, I wasn't there for a few games this season, so I don't know exactly how some of them went down. I know the Save a Horse matchup was definitely tight. We had to drive for the win on that one, so that one was definitely up there in it. A few other games we made close, and that was our own fault type of thing. So I think overall this is probably going to be the most well-rounded squad that we're going to play this season, and rightfully so. It's the finals.
Right.
So that's going to be an interesting one in terms of, how do we prepare for it?
Is there? So I'm gonna give you two names, and if Trapstars look to exploit you beyond their number one receiver, because Ryan Garber is the number one guy, right? He has been all season.
Oh no, you playing with my wire again.
Oh, sorry. Often in the season, often when you know that there's a number one talent and it comes in the playoffs, you need to look to secondary and tertiary options. So Ryan Garber, Josh Namer, we know that they're going to get their looks. But we've seen Vincent Rizzulo be effective, as well as Kyle Oberfeld. So those two guys.
David Giroux as well, just checkdowns.
Yeah. So which of those three names, Vincent Rizzulo, Kyle Oberfeld, David Giroux, who's that next guy you're looking to take away after the top two? And why?
Personally, probably Giroux, only because that's how drives continue. One of the things which, and this is not just us concept, this is an everything concept, right? I always say if you can get 3 to 4 yards per play just on checkdowns, you do that 3 times in a row, that's a first down. You do that all the way down the field. So if that happens, because, okay, the big play's taken away, the big receivers are taken away, and you just get a few yards every play, that works. So I think for us, that's going to be the big thing in terms of how do we avoid not only the big plays, but also enough to keep the drives going. But there'll be some surprises this game. I'll put it that way.
All right, on to 5A then. And we have probably, on paper, one of the more lopsided games. The REIT against Balls Deep. And, of course, it was a weird way for Balls Deep to get into the finals. First off, we're thinking about Ryan Dobbs-Garnett, who unfortunately suffered a very awful facial injury on Tuesday night at Loyola. And I highly doubt he'll be playing this weekend because, unfortunately, his face did not look serene.
So let's fill people in on what happened here, because there's a little bit of, can I call it tomfoolery that happened in this game type of thing?
You can absolutely call it tomfoolery.
Yeah.
So Ravens were up 31-21, I guess, at that point in time.
Yeah.
And then someone gets hurt. I don't know exactly who it was on the Ravens team, but someone gets hurt.
Yeah, someone got hurt.
Which, combined with the fact that some of their players aren't available for the game because of a pre-arranged commitment. I believe it's a wedding. So
That's right.
That's a pretty good reason to miss a finals. I understand that. They weren't going to have enough guys to field 6, and so they were going to play 5. So come the end of the game, even though they were winning because they had that player go down and now they were going to be 5 for the finals, they basically, Balls Deep, they let them score. Then they immediately punted, and then they let Balls Deep score again for 12 points to basically win the game.
Greatest comeback ever in FBF playoff history.
Now, this going with, like you said, Ryan Dobbs-Garnett got a knee to the face.
Before that.
Pure accident.
Yeah.
Do we want to just talk about the fact that, listen,
let's put it
if
this
you're
way.
diving for a ball and a receiver's trying to play the ball and there's contact because your face is next to the guy's knee, it's not intentional. So to call a guy what happened on that is a little bit ridiculous. Let's be real.
Look, we know Alexi Dubois. There's no way he did that on purpose. Ryan is frustrated, which is 100% understandable.
Yeah.
He got a concussion the previous week. Like, it's super unlikely to face one of these injuries in the first place. To have them in back-to-back weeks is awful. It's just sad news. I feel terrible about this because I haven't made fun of Ryan once, and I love teasing Ryan. But no, he just was just an unfortunate situation. So let's hope there's a game. Have we heard from the team that
from all indications, we have a green light here that they will be playing on Saturday, 3 p.m. Again, they were a bit surprised because, again, given the circumstances that they kind of backdoored their way through into this game here, the Reeds are just a machine. And how do you glitch this machine to perhaps see Balls Deep pull off what, again,
I was going to say the size of the Ravens is how you do it, but they're not in the finals.
There. So we lose that sexy appeal matchup of a Ravens versus Reeds battle here. So we get Balls Deep instead. I don't know where Balls Deep has the advantage in this matchup. I can't figure it out.
Look, losing Ryan Dobbs-Garnett hurts offensively, especially,
and emotionally too, because he's the emotional linchpin of that team.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be on the bench though? Because having that there, as much as maybe not on the field.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think he misses it. To be honest.
He won't miss it.
I don't think he'll play, but I think he'll be there. The thing is, across the board, they're just so talented. Dante Sperani, Michael Gattuso, Dustin Pierre is nonsense in terms of speed and length and size. And it's everything you're looking for. And defensively, they're active. They break on the ball. Santino Sperani is a great rusher on top of his quarterback play, on top of his ability to make plays on the ground. 8 rushing touchdowns is nonsense in FPF. He's only thrown 4 interceptions, and part of the reason that he only throws 4 interceptions throughout the season, Mo, is that he can take off at any time. So if the receivers aren't there, he can buy time. So,
however, if I may interject here,
go ahead.
Piece, last 3 games he's thrown 4 INTs.
Mm-hmm.
In the regular season, he threw 3 INTs.
Yeah, well, he threw 4 in the regular season.
I'm counting 3 right now.
I saw 4 on his.
I see 4, yeah, but on the personal profile it has 3 listed.
Carlo,
I beg your pardon. It is 4, but I'm making it that he's had 4 in his last 3 games.
Okay.
So he had 3 before, and then in the last 3 games he's had 4.
Oh, because you're talking about the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, exactly. I beg your
I
pardon.
mean, it's kind of cherry picking. Regular season, he has 2 interceptions, right?
Yeah, but anyway, the point is that.
Yeah, it's been like, sure, okay. So if you want to say it's been a little bit harder because of that, they still blew out the Goofy Goobers, who I thought were a really good team. They haven't really been challenged in the playoffs, regardless.
No. Do you feel like if you we're gonna give the other team like a 2-score lead and make it more intriguing? Because again, I not to soil on Balls Deep here, but. This is a real, this could be one of those, Alabama, we're going to come in there and steamroll your butts against Jacksonville State over here.
I think...
or Georgia against, Kentucky.
Well, yeah, that's a more apt example. You might as well take the defending NCAA champion and not the scrub runners-up,
Anyway,
the best team in college football.
Just wanted to bring that point up.
Yeah,
anyway.
Just, we might as well be factual.
Of course.
I'm sure they don't want to be compared to the second-place team, right?
No.
But yeah, so most of the season they've rushed Brendan Birch. My recommendation is Curdley Mikul. Curdley is deceptively quick. He's got great change of direction. It sucks because he's a great corner and he's a great flat defender.
Don't you weaken your team though if you do that?
You need to contain the run. It's the priority. You need to contain the run. You need Santino Sperani to throw off schedule. You need him to throw from different arm angles, and the only person they have a chance to create those opportunities, I think, is Curdley Mikul. Because Curdley's one of these guys who he's played for a lot of different teams in FPF,
right?
And partially because of that, he doesn't get credit for being as good as he is. But he's a legitimate Swiss Army knife on defense. He can do so many things, including rush. I know it's not his preferred position. I know it's not the position he's best at. I just think he's their only chance at creating turnovers. And on offense, they need to grind this game into the ground. Justin Weir needs to make this as boring as humanly possible.
I think what they have to do is ask for technical timeouts every single time.
For what?
On a technical timeout,
Yeah.
5-yard completion.
Go over, ask who's rushing every time.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously, but like those type of things can like irritate a team, right? Because you're asking constantly who's the rusher. Referee, he didn't raise his hand properly. Those little things could kind of, finagle some things here. But
anything that could keep Sperani on the bench, or not on the bench, but in the rusher's box for as long as possible, and frustrate them for not being on the field on offense.
It's gonna be not a hill, but a real mountain to climb for these guys here. And for Ballsy, but if they do it, that is an unbelievable, successful achievement right there. But they're in for a serious heavyweight fight, and there could be two Alex Dacklas that could be champions.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. You know what? You guys are you guys on the same day? Saturday? Yes.
Back to back.
So if in theory they do win and you
We
do
need a
win,
picture.
we need a picture of the Alex Dacklas, the two Eagles.
But do the handshake from Predator, where you guys are
Oh yeah.
flexing and like.
Oh, but his biceps is way bigger than
I know,
mine.
but it'll be even funnier because
Exactly.
you guys can't match up the way they did in that movie. So
It's funny because my dad actually asked me about, hey, is there another Alex Aquila? I'm like, actually, yes, and I kind of know him.
why would your dad ask you this?
Because he's like, how do you know him? Like, what part of the family is he connected to? And I said, I don't know. I don't know.
But why did he ask you in the first place?
Yeah, when he not know.
Like,
that?
I don't know. Someone mentioned something. There's another Alex Aquila. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Okay. I thought your dad every once in a while was just like, are there other people with our name? Should we eliminate them? Like that's it.
I don't think it was from that perspective.
Okay.
Although
there
can only
just
be one.
like other Alex Aquila. If a black SUV pulls up in front of your place, just lay low.
Yeah, don't come out of the house.
Don't come out. It's not the time.
All right. On to we're
Money
doing.
does some terrible things.
Are we gonna do one now, or we're doing Div 1 and 2 here?
Let's see if we can get Brent Bodkin. He wanted to do later, so let's see if
no
he's
problem.
actually free now.
If not, we'll try to get down Lazarra.
Hello?
Oh, there we go, Mr. Bodkin.
Brent,
Hey.
answer your goddamn DMs.
Yeah, my bad, dude. I'm trying to do a million things
okay.
at once right now.
I'm
I
just-
apologize. My bad. I literally just finished class 5 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry about
I'm
that.
trying.
My
I'm
bad.
trying to.
No,
We're trying to
yes.
do the show, and I'm trying to deal with the broadcast teams at the same time.
I got that. I will help you out for Saturday. Let me just get back to you on
Yeah, let's go.
All right. How about every game
All right.
for us, please?
Absolutely
I-
not. But
All right, Brent. Let's dive into it. We'll start off with Div 1. That's the first of the two games of the higher end. So we do have All Stars against Braves. Any surprise with those two teams in the final?
no, I mean, no disrespect to the Flight One Lasac. Pardon me. These are the top two teams in Division One. Let's just call a spade here. These are the two teams I fully expected to be going head to head for the championship this weekend at the beginning of the season.
Were you surprised by Braves' ability to nullify Flagmo Sac's offense the way they did?
Yeah, and you know what, man? So standing on the sideline, right? And Julien Paiement. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, no disrespect to Matt Kerouac. I think Paiement has the title. I would say right now is the best rusher in FPF for the last number of seasons, and he showed why. He basically not single-handedly, obviously, but with his ability to rush and get back to the passer so quick, he caused the quarterback just to have to get rid of the ball before his receivers were turning around, finishing routes before his feet were set, and it led to a lot of one hoppers off the ground.
Well, with respect to Kerouac, it's just that at this point his bones are dust, and it's fitting because he was around at the time dust was created. So his advanced age has made it so that Julien Paiement is now the best rusher in FPF. Correct.
More surprised. You said right now you were surprised by how they neutralized Flagmore Sac, but are you surprised by the fact that Gryffindor, they were in control of the narrative against All Stars, and then come second half, All Stars flipped the switch and then ran it up on Gryffindor to win that matchup?
Listen, I mean,
being there with you on the sideline, Mo. I mean, we saw like Gryffindor they got that early interception in Gomez off of Kevin, obviously, and you thought that would kind of turn the switch, and you thought that may be a sign of things to come. But second half, like that defense, let's be honest. I mean, they're a veteran team, right? They all just littered with Hall of Famers, All Stars, so on and so forth. Am I surprised that they flipped the switch on Gryffindor? No, not entirely. I mentioned in my article the loss of Dominic Mano for the Gryffindor offense would be huge. And I talked to AJ after the game, and he said I was exactly right. I mean, the loss of that big target over the middle of the field, what Dan Lazarra and the guys had to do pretty much was just rely on like little drags or little hooks on the sidelines, and that's all the All-Stars gave them defensively in the second half.
All right, on to the final now. Braves and All-Stars split their season series 1-1. Both games were in the first 4 weeks of the year, so they haven't seen each other in over 2.5 months. Coming into this game, what is a key storyline that you're looking forward to on Sunday evening?
I mean, I think it's going to be the battle of the quarterbacks, like any football game. I mean, that's where you have to start, right? Why I think that's Mahu. It's arguably the GOAT against the best there is right now, best there is currently, if you will. You could say maybe it's like a Brady versus Mahomes kind of thing, or in my opinion, Joe Montana if he came back and played against Pat Mahomes, but whatever.
No one knows who Joe Montana is in today's football.
What's a Joe Montana?
Exactly.
Simmer down. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, you have the two best quarterbacks right now, and currently, obviously, in FPF going head to head. I mean, you look at the matchups. There's tons of matchups. You have the Pilon brothers. Obviously, you have Pat Jerome. You have Paul Lapierre. The names are endless for both sides. It's going to come down, I think, to who could get the most stops and try to at least get one stop out of these quarterbacks, or of these quarterbacks, I should say.
Yeah, so with regards to Braves and All-Stars, we saw again the way the Braves defense was able to really nullify an explosive defense. Is that something they can do against, the improbable run that Kevin Wyatt has had and how he's been sort of the best for so long? Can they do that again, or will it have to be score for score? I wouldn't touch your wire this time. I didn't touch your wire this time.
So,
Sorry.
There we go. We're back.
Mo and I have been fighting all show.
Okay, so your question is, can the Braves defense pretty much neutralize the All-Stars?
The game script, can it be the same kind of thing where they use their defense to control the game, or will that? Do you think it'll have to be trading punches?
No, I mean, no, they can't do that to the All-Stars. Listen, I mean, the Braves are a great team, and as we saw last night against 5-1 Sac, they were able to neutralize that team. But you look at the All-Stars, I mean, was their offense that great in the first half against Gryffindor? No, but they know how to turn it on, right? I mean, listen, both teams are championship teams, offensively and defensively. I think the matchups for the All-Stars, I think it's going to go in their favor. Because, I mean, you look at this Brave defense, right? I mean, they got a little bit of size, obviously, J.D. Chevalier, George Garapi. Who's going to stop Pat Jerome on it? Consistently stop Pat Jerome on that defense? Who has the size and the speed to match up with Pat Jerome? We saw last night. He got touchdowns on Jalen Graves. He got touchdowns on Jared Taylor. He got touchdowns or big plays on AJ. These are some of the phenomenal players that we have in our game, and Pat Jerome just slices and dices any defense.
If one of these quarterbacks throws an INT, could that swing the game around for either or?
Well, that's what I said before, right? I mean, I think it's going to come down to whoever can get a stop on one of these quarterbacks. I mean, these guys are pretty much perfect for the most part. They do have mistakes, obviously, like anybody else. But in a game that's going to be, I think, really back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get that key stop. If we go back, we wind the clock for a minute, back to the spring season where Contraband beat the Braves. I believe Mahir had an interception in that game. I think he was the only quarterback to throw an INT, and obviously Contraband got the late TD from Lazarra to Pilon. That was pretty much the difference maker right there, right? I think it's who could get the first INT and who has possession of the ball last. Those are going to be the two big things in this game.
All right, on to Div 2, KGP, Terror Squad, the two best teams in that division. One thing I've noticed, Brent, with KGP of late is their slow starts out of the gates. It's like they're stuck in the blocks and wait till they're behind like by 20 meters and then catch up and surpass that team.
Right.
How important is it for them to have a better start than weeks past and really control the narrative.
You know what? I'm gonna counter you on that with it doesn't really matter how they start. I mean, listen, having a good start, coming out all engines firing is great. That's what you want. But as we've seen with this KGB team, they always have a habit of the late game heroics, whether it's getting a last second touchdown to win the game or getting a last second stop. That's been, I don't know if you guys remember the team, obviously, the cardiac kids or Tony Curry. That's what these guys are. They're basically the cardiac kids reincarnated. They always find a way to pull it out no matter what happens, whether it's a bad start or whether it's a second half sluggish start to the second stanza, if you will. They always find a way to pull it out.
That said, last time we saw them in the finals, it was a whomping. And
Yeah.
do you think there is a way that KGP can do that against the Terror Squad, or do you think this is finally someone that can prevent them from winning their 4th straight championship?
I'm going to go on a limb here and say it's not going to be a whooping.
Okay.
Yeah, KGP. But yeah, that's not going to happen with Terror Squad. Again, you have that same problem. I mean, you have to stop Pat Jerome, and you have the Pilon brothers. And don't forget, when they played in the regular season, the 34-31 win by KGP over the Terror Squad, Alex Pilon didn't play in that game. I think we all know the skill of Alex Pilon. I think he definitely makes up, at the very least, that 3-point deficit, and the Terror Squad will get the regular season win. Obviously, he's eligible for the playoffs, as is the rest of that roster. I think I'm leaning towards, sort of jump the gun there, but I think I'm leaning towards the Terror Squad. And as good as KGP has been in this postseason, pulling out late victories against the Apocalypse and pulling out a late victory against the Party Crashers, I don't see them doing that again against Terror Squad.
Who are the additional options for Tam Villadeth that could, like the secondary and tertiary options that can allow them to really see the best version of their offense?
I think Nicholas Gropini. I mean, I remember when he first came into the league, I believe he was playing, I think he was rushing. I believe we were just playing pretty much a defensive role, but he's really evolved as a receiver. I mean, you look already, he's tied for the lead in touchdowns on this team with 10. Another guy who I like too, who gets a little bit of pub, but not as much as he should, is Alex Boulay Rio. He's great on both sides of the ball. Obviously, 7 TDs this season, but he makes an effect on that defense. And Vincent Malo, who I think is actually going to be the key to the victory here for the Terror Squad, his ability to cause Cutler. Listen, as good as for Cutler is, we all seen he's a great player, but he does throw some ducks sometimes. If you get him to throw without setting his feet properly, he does throw across his body a lot, and I think Malo is going to be key for that defense. He's going to have to be key.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I've been on Vincent Malo since I first saw him playing FPF, and the dude is awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, he looked like Div 1-2 ready from Jump Street. So I'm happy to see it.
Brent, if KGP goes on to win this Div 2, how would you rank their success of runs that they've had, which has been championships? How many years now, Peace? How many seasons we're looking at?
This would be their 4th straight championship.
4th straight championship at different divisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Division C, they won Division B already. As you guys are saying, the 4th championship. I mean, you would have to put them up there with the Montreal Finest / All-Stars, obviously the Braves, the Hurricanes from back in the day. You'd have to put them up there. I mean, listen, they're a team that's constantly in contention every year, right? No matter how many guys they add, how many guys they lose, which is not many, obviously. They're always in contention. Sometimes they play ugly football. Sometimes they play great football. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they get the W when it matters most. So I think if they're able to pull off the victory on Sunday, I think you definitely have to put the KGP, name up there with some of the greats that we've seen in FPF.
Now, you mentioned the Hurricanes. Would you or would you not compare them to, like, Bob Cousy?
Wow.
Because, 37% career shooting, didn't win anything till Bill Russell got there and played against plumbers, as per JJ Redick. So that was the plumber era of
a
FPF,
fine Duke
right?
athlete over there.
You're damn right, my friend. You're damn right. Yeah, listen, man. A win's a win. Doesn't matter. You can get it against plumbers, or you could get a sure W against Mo Khan and any of Mo Khan's teams.
Oh, who's Coach K coaching next year for?
I'm sorry.
I'm
Shut
sorry.
up,
Exactly. Carry on with your
Yeah,
point,
okay.
please.
Relax.
You mean other than Team America?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
The only way he can win
The man's an icon, okay? Yeah, he won a couple fluke losses against UNC. Who cares? No one remembers that. Doesn't matter. Yeah, listen, I mean, it doesn't matter if you compare them to Bob Cousy, you can call them, I don't know, Elvis Gerbach if you want. It doesn't matter. If they get the win, they get the win. Trent Dilfer To get the win, baby. Who
So
cares?
just no compliments for Hurricanes. Got it. Awesome. It's good. They're not around to hear it anymore, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So, Brent, before we let you go, your article will be coming out.
I'm actually working on it right now. I'm trying to bang it out. I'm hoping tomorrow's Friday. I'm hoping for tomorrow night. It's very, very late to be out Saturday morning.
Okay,
Because
so
obviously I'm going to
This
help you
week
guys
is
out
a
with games.
misery for the media, right? Like,
Yeah.
we love like honestly, like we legitimately love it. Like it's fun to be part of the road show and all that. But my God, it's so much
hectic.
stress. It's so much work.
Yeah.
Well, especially this extra time because everything got delayed by like
Yeah.
a month and a half, so it's just making everything so much worse.
it compounds
And like
everything,
the
yeah.
well,
Exactly.
we're 3 of the 4 play-by-play analysts for which there's the heaviest burden of preparation, right? So it's, it's a hectic
So,
week.
Brent, it buys you time though. You only have to have the article ready before 7 o'clock on Sunday, so you have a little bit more leeway.
So, Brent,
Anyways, I'll have it on Saturday for sure.
before we let you go here, without giving your pick, because we will wait for the article to come out with your picks, is there a lean towards who you think is the favorite to win Div 1 and Div 2?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of opened that can of worms a little earlier. I'm saying for Div 2, it's going to be Terror Squad. I think Terror Squad is just too talented to have the last second falters that a team like the Party Crash. Listen, I was at that Party Crashers game as you were, Mo. I even wrote in my article last week. Party Crashers should have beat KGP. Party Crashers' problem was the fact that they started going after Matthew Lepage on the right-hand side for no reason when the left-hand side by being guarded by James Aker and Quay, I hope I pronounced that right, and Kwesi Gordon Mall. They were giving up penalties and they were giving up a ton of yards. I don't know why Party Crashers decided to throw to the right-hand side of the field when it wasn't working all day long.
Right.
Regardless, KGP pulled it out. Terror Squad will not make those same type of mistakes. So I'm definitely pulling. I'm definitely thinking Terror Squad's going to pull it out. And for Division 1, it's going to be tough. 2 great teams, two teams that are stacked everywhere, pretty much. I think the size advantage goes to the All-Stars. Obviously, Paul. Not even talking about Paul. Just other guys like Chris Millard and that. They have the size advantage. I don't want to get Mike Pearson too mad because he's on my team in Division C this summer, but I'm going to go with the All-Stars, I think. The All-Stars by 5 points.
Okay, so no need to read the article then. Perfect.
No, I'm going to go into details
but-
in the article. I'll break it down a little bit better in the article. You don't worry, my friend.
What
It'll
you
be
got to
broken
do,
down
Brent,
properly.
is you got to pick the opposite thing in the article. That's what I always do.
Yeah,
I pick
it's
one
a
thing
good
on the
idea.
show and an opposite. So like that way I know who's consuming which content. Data collection.
Again, I
sell
could be
to the Russians,
swayed. I could be
actually.
swayed, right? We're Thursday night. I mean, I could definitely change my mind. The Braves are a
Everyone's got a
great team. So
price.
picking the Braves is not a foolish thing either. So, yeah,
Everyone's got a price.
same thing with KGP.
But has it ever happened to you? Just one quick question, just more about process than anything else. Because this has actually 100% happened to me where on the show, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think this team will win. And then as I'm breaking it down, I'm like, oh, actually.
You talk
no.
yourself out of it 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's happened to me a couple times each season that I've worked in the media.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Not even just championship games. I'm talking about even the regular season.
Yeah, regular
sometimes in
season,
my mind, I'll have
absolutely.
exactly. Yeah, 100% happens. 100%. So you got to tune into the article to see 100% where I'm going come
Final picks.
Saturday.
Even though he picked
Exactly.
Terror Squad.
And it might change.
All-Stars.
Look, the line can move, Mo.
It
The
could.
line can
Exactly.
move.
Vegas
Exactly.
will be
Injuries can happen. You look at last year. Mike Pierce saying, yeah, he broke his ankle there last year, right? Right before
I
the
mean,
finals.
Canvilla death a
Like it
day
can-
before the finals.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah,
this
let's
time.
not
Yeah,
be
knock on
You
wood.
greedy.
really crap out that file.
Jesus.
All right, Brent, thanks so much. We'll look forward to your article, and we'll see you on the weekend for Roadshow for whatever division PZ has you lined up for.
Yeah, well, just answer that question and you'll know which divisions. Love you, man.
All right, boys. Thanks.
All right, be good, Brent. Brent Bodkin, he'll have his Div 1, Div 2 article coming out before the finals on Sunday for Div 1 at 7 p.m. Div 2 will be the last game of the winter season, and we'll wrap it up over there. All right, on to Div 3. I believe Dan Lazarra will be joining us here, Eagle. Is that the...
That is correct. We are going to get Dan on
the
the phone here.
RDP Romo, Tony Romo over here. Hopefully you get him here. He might be watching the basketball game, though.
That would make 2 of us.
Yeah.
No, we have Mr. Lazarra here.
Do
Can
we?
you guys hear me?
Me, Dan.
Yeah, we
Dan,
hear you.
You hear us, Danny boy?
There we go, Dan.
Hold up. My settings, I'm trying to get it onto my earphone.
Where are you? You outdoors playing basketball?
No, I am at the practice field right now. Coaching up a practice. My
Awesome.
earphones don't work. I can't see you guys.
Yeah, it's coming. Hold on. Did you just hang up? What a...
Me, bro. This guy hung up on us.
Yeah, gotta come back.
The RDP Roma hung up on us.
You call random people in RDP till you find them.
Yeah. Dan Lazarra? No, sorry. Okay, wrong number. Dan Lazarra? No, sorry, wrong number.
648.
No, I mean, no answer now. This guy.
Jeez.
Except.
Oh boy.
There's a phone ringing in our room.
Yeah.
I'm
Is he-
aware.
Is he here?
This is like a haunted.
Is
like,
he in the
This is
building?
like a horror story.
Dan, can you hear us?
You guys hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes,
hear
Yes,
you.
we
I
hear
can. Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
all
what's
right,
up, guys?
Danny boy.
What's up?
Neat.
How
All
we
right,
doing?
Dan
How we doing,
Lazarra.
gentlemen?
Dan Lazarra, who is the Div 3 article writer for this past season. So, Dan, let's dive into it. Before we get into it, Eagle, do you mind getting me a picture of, if you don't mind, Eagle, I forgot to ask you beforehand. Just Google it and just get me the image of Russell Wilson, Ciara, and Roger Goodell Super Bowl, please.
Wait.
Yeah,
Hold
what's
on. I gotta just get this working here. Give me a
It's a
second.
very specific picture.
No, those are the three.
Yeah.
characters.
I don't hear a word you guys are saying.
You don't hear us?
All right, we'll call you back in 2 seconds, Lazarra.
Why is this happening?
I don't
It was
know.
working fine before.
We'll call him back in 2 seconds here. Sorry, Eagle, if you don't mind me getting that picture of Russell Wilson.
It's not like he's doing anything else at the moment.
I know. I just want him to get it ready.
Dan!
Hello?
Dan,
Dan.
Lazarra, Danny boy.
DL. Tacos!
I hear you guys.
There we
Me,
go.
bro. You serious? Can you hear us now, Danny boy?
Classic Facebook. What do you want to do? Yes, I hear you.
Okay, perfect. So, Eagle, can you give me that
Question
picture
before.
of Wilson, Ciara, Goodell, Super Bowl, please?
no.
Can you do that for me, please? Let's get a
Oh,
picture,
my
please.
goodness.
Thank you. All right, Dan Lazarra, who is the Div 3 writer,
Yep.
covering it all season long, did a really good job.
The
with
audience
articles.
heard that already. Just because Dan didn't hear it,
I know.
the
I
audience heard it
it. I
already.
just want to
Okay.
reaffirm his confidence.
Perfect.
All right, so Dan, we have the two teams here, Bless against Junkyard Dogs, and I see you're rubbing your chin right now, thinking about what we're going to talk about. Your
Yeah,
thoughts?
Let's go.
Your thoughts on these two teams making it to the finals that we'll see on Sunday night?
Okay, so started off, Junkyard Dogs. I don't know if you guys could hear me still.
We do.
Yeah.
100%.
Froze. Oh, it's my screen it froze, but my face. But anyways, okay. So Junkyard Dogs, completely impressed with what I saw this season. It's such a roller coaster of a year for these guys, and for Jason Rossi to take his team to the chip, it's big. It's big. He has some good players, and he's utilizing them well. But they're going up against Goliath right now, and that's blessed. And these guys are not playing around. I mean, Marvin's playing with a cast on, guys. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Marvin
Who needs two
Steinberg,
hands?
yes.
Who needs two
Marvin
hands?
Steinberg.
You can play with one.
Right. Kevin Wyeth showed us that he
There
could
we
do it
go.
with one hand, so
There we
everyone's
go.
thinking. Yeah, exactly.
So, is there? Sorry, Peter,
Yeah.
I'm asking, is there a weakness within the Blessed team that you can say, you know what, maybe Junkyard Dogs could exploit to their advantage?
Yeah, if Smuda doesn't play, this is going to be big because their height on Junkyard Dogs could be exploited, and I could see very well Jason Rossi just tossing up the golden pass and watching the Submergent brothers, one of them just coming down with a moss, or even Paul Lapierre. I mean, they have some big bodies that could go up there and just win jump balls like aggressively. You know what I'm trying to say? Like these guys, they're ballers. You can't just sleep on them.
The thing with when looking at this matchup, when Blessed is preparing for Junkyard Dogs, and obviously we saw the success all season long that Sean Submergent had as a receiver. Who do they use to try and take that away?
Good question. I really think it's not going to be one player, though. I think it's a team effort. Blessed has been doing that all year long. They play really well team defense. If you watch any of their games, they're always communicating on everything that's coming across the middle, going deep, going short. They're really well of staying on the same page with each other, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be going into the huddle saying every play, guys, watch the deep ball, watch the deep ball, watch the deep ball, constantly reassuring them. And you got to force Jason to try and drive the field. I mean, he's proven it that he could do it, but now it's championship game. Here we go. If he can't take his deep shots, is he going to be able to go 5-6 minutes down the field? I don't know. We'll see.
When you look at the Blessed receiving core, Philippe Ferrand had 13 TDs. If you take him out, does that increase JYD's chances? But you look at Blessed, they have a lot of guys who have caught a boatload of touchdowns on that roster beyond Ferrand.
Is Farhan out? Did I miss something?
No, he's in. He did.
You kind
play.
of framed the question, Mo, as if he wasn't playing.
If he was
I
Yeah,
understood the same
okay,
thing.
that's-
If
So
he
it's
was
not just you, Dan.
I don't mean like in a hitman type of way, but if he's neutralizing this game,
Okay,
if
gotcha.
he's neutralizing this game,
Okay, if he's neutralized in this game, I think it definitely plays a huge factor. I mean, like you said, 18 touchdowns, no joke. The guy's he's a baller completely. Like he's gonna be playing in the higher division sooner rather than later. I have no doubt about that.
is he headed
And
to
also-
is he headed to Dan Lazarra's Div 1 team?
We're trying to call the agents. We're working the deals, but right now the lines are stuck right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
Red Dupree has
Stephen
a
Harper-
stranglehold on him.
Stephen Harper keeps hanging the phone up for you. It's like, it's not
Yeah,
going through.
okay. On the topic of Steven, this man, I told him at the field, he doesn't want to accept it, but sooner or later he's coming up into the higher
He has to.
divisions as well.
He's the best
He's a
play
baller.
caller. He's the best play caller and play designer in FPF. in my
I told
estimation.
him, you work on that arm strength, you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks in this league. Even if you're God knows what age, in 20 years from now, he could still end up being one of the best quarterbacks in this league. Why? Because, like you said, his play calling is fantastic, and he's really accurate with the ball.
You think Stephen Harpersad wouldn't have blown a 10-point lead against All Stars?
I don't know.
You gotta fight him
I
this
hope
weekend.
not.
You gotta fight him this weekend. That's
Oh,
what you gotta
man.
do.
Lazarra may not show up now. He may not come on Sunday.
You guys are
guys.
crying. I expect it. What do you want to do?
But so, like to that point, I'm actually with you, Dan. I think he needs to keep climbing through the divisions because he has success. He's had success at every division. When I think of him, the player comp that comes to my mind is Roshni Ben Abdelkader, right? Where Roshni won games with his play calling, with his play design. Didn't have the strongest arm in the division. Corey Pecker was another guy that didn't have that beautiful ball. That Corey Pecker, I think, still hasn't thrown a spiral in all of FPF history. So, yet he was effective, right? And so to me, fits that mold.
To me, the play that really explains how smart and how efficient Steven is their semifinals game last weekend, or Tuesday night, sorry. Was it Tuesday night? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday night.
Yeah.
It's one possession game. Sheesh managed to come back into this game after being down big. And it's third down. You need a big play. You know it's going to be man-to-man, tight press, man-to-man, even though you're not allowed contact, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Tight press, man-to-man. What does he go with? A wheel by his snapper. Oh, what a play. What a play call.
Because you never expect
What a
that,
play
right?
call. Never would you expect that. I was so stunned by that, and I was actually impressed. Not going to lie. That was really cool to see.
Danny Boy, when you look at the pass rushers, Terry Babelis and Hinsley Adams, who has the edge in this matchup?
Oof. I don't know. This is like the Jordan LeBron debate over here. I don't know if I could choose one.
Yeah,
I know you guys are big on that debate.
They're two of the best in the division, obviously. Two of the best in the league at this point. I don't know. For me personally, when I see that, I imagine it has a bigger impact against Rossi, right? Because Rossi moves more than Harpersad. Harpersad just gets rid of the ball so quick. But if the defense can force Harpersad to get the second, third read, maybe that's where we see Hinsley Adam have that impact.
I think regardless, we're going to be hearing about both these rushers' names on Sunday,
Mhm.
to be honest with you. They both play in like a huge factor for their team. And both teams have really good coverage downfield. So it's not going to be as easy as just, okay, both quarterbacks are going for 78% completion percentage easily. Like, we're talking about these guys holding thirds, maybe even their fourth read. I mean, we're talking about Hinsley Adams and Terry Babelis. These two guys are known for not making you go to their second and third read. So I could see them both having one, maybe even 2 sacks apiece. I wouldn't be surprised.
Terry, Danny Boy, before we let you go, when will your article come out?
Oh, I like to. Okay, usually what I like to do a little trend over here. I was releasing them all on game day, but seeing as it's the finals, we might get a little treat, maybe a day earlier. I don't know.
Oh my goodness,
I like-
a day early!
Yeah.
Ooh la la! How lucky should we be, man? To be a day early. You know?
Very excited. Very excited.
Have you picked out
Very
your
exciting.
Have you picked out your clothing attire for Sunday's debut of the RDP Romo?
Oh, I'll dress you for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's not hard.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
by the way,
easily
That's
done.
not hard.
By the way, there's a no beard policy for the finals, huh?
What?
There's no beard
I'm not
policy.
gonna.
What?
I'm sick. You know, I'm
I was
sick.
gonna say, I don't
I
know,
can't
man.
be there. I
don't
have
know.
alcoholism. I'm sick.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we look forward to your article coming out before the finals, Danny Boy. Great job by you on your maiden voyage as a subscriber for FPF, and look forward to calling the game with you, perhaps on
Also,
Sunday.
answer your DMs. I need. an
Why
answer
the
to
perhaps?
See,
Why the? No, seriously.
Mo has
I
prior
can't do another.
engagements.
I can't do
No,
another
no, but
play-by-play
he
game.
gets so stressed when I say maybe I can't do it. Me, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
But
he's so
I don't know if
stressed.
I'm gonna do my broadcasting FPF career in a finals. It's got to be with Mo Khan.
That's right. I would imagine so.
He gets
But
so nervous when I say I can't do it.
if you can answer my DM, Dan, please do, because I need some answers on on that question.
Ah,
But-
my
about the
goodness.
broadcast.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes,
man.
I know.
Hey,
Okay,
I
well,
gotta
okay.
find somebody else if you can't do it. Okay.
All right.
Last
sounds
question
good,
I have
sounds
for
good.
you,
We'll
Dan.
talk, we'll
Since you're channeling your inner Patrick Mahomes, would you want to play with offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy?
Are you kidding me? Of course. Why wouldn't I? What? What kind of question is
Because
that?
a quote came out a little while ago. Eagle. Can
Yeah,
you
LaShawn
provide the
McCoy is
con-
basically saying.
Can you then provide the context?
Yeah, no, I wanted to just set it up this way. LaShawn McCoy has said the reason why he stopped playing in Kansas City was because of him. And apparently that seems to be the
Oh.
trend for other things, and that's the reason why he's not getting head coaching jobs elsewhere. So
I don't know. What I see is Mahomes getting 50 touchdowns a season, and he's the OC. So 2 + 2 = 4 in this situation.
Or 50 in this case. 2 + 2
Yeah.
is 50 in this case.
yeah, but then again, Rodgers called his own plays without the OC, right? So
Yeah, they didn't go
He-
far.
wait,
right?
He called all those ISOs for
You're coming
himself.
hot, man.
Yeah. He scored 7 against San Fran, and we never heard from him ever again after that. Okay, Danny Boy, we'll see
Okay.
you Sunday.
Have a good one.
All
dude.
right, boys. Have yourselves a good one. Take it easy.
Dan Lazarra. And I lost
Good
my
dude.
lost my headset again.
Oh, yeah, this time I
There,
played with it.
we're good. I have it now.
Good. I think just to hold
I
it.
gotta hold it now. We're good now. Okay, we're gonna have Iggy Magnus join us to
How
wrap
many
it up.
goddamn divisions do we have? I'm so
We're
tired.
flowing through. We got
I
another
know.
10 more minutes to
We're
go.
actually doing good on time,
Yeah,
to be honest.
sorry. We'll be done by we're done before 10 o'clock. As Iggy Magnus will join us now to discuss 4A and 4B, and then we'll have our picks. And it's exciting. It's almost satisfying to realize that we're finally going to have winter champions, as Iggy has yet to pick up his phone, and as I try to buy time. in
End
this
of the first quarter,
conversation.
27-20 Warriors.
Yes.
I love
yeah.
providing live score updates for a podcast that's not live.
Yeah, exactly. People are like, what?
It's one of my favorite things. So if you forgot what happened in yesterday's basketball game, I'm reminding you that the Warriors were up 27-20 with 6 seconds left in Q1.
Q1, exactly. All right, we'll wait for Iggy Magnus. He should join us soon, I hope.
he's here. We're just trying to get camera stuff. Give me one
camera,
second
really? Can he see us on the camera? Or?
here. He will be able to see us. I just got to do this.
Right, because we got the U Vultures, which I think is going to be a really good matchup on Saturday afternoon. But the U might be undermanned, though.
How come?
One guy got hurt. They might be 5. There he is, Iggy.
How's it going, Iggy?
Can't hear us.
Can't hear you, boys.
Hear us now. Can you hear us now, Iggy?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, please show the people.
Yes, allow.
How about now?
Yes, sir.
All right, Iggy.
Were you
all right.
Were you trolling me with
Honestly,
the
I
audio?
wish that was designed that way, but no, that was just an oops. For some stupid reason, when I do Facebook calls, it doesn't remember my camera setting, and because the cameras are used for the stream, they just like it's in use, so it fails. So I have to unremember which camera I was using to then re-remember which camera I was using, but that also forgets the microphone. So
Right.
yeah,
By the way, we're doing Duns, right? on
production
Sunday?
stuff, guys. Well, you don't need to talk about this.
We're doing
Me
Duns.
and Iggy
We're
thing.
doing Duns post game on Sunday. Is that what we're doing on Sunday?
Yeah.
Post-game?
Or
All right.
Saturday.
Sunday. I'm not.
Well,
there
he's not
Saturday.
there Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Sunday
your
is
problem.
date night with me and
That
you.
sounds like it's a you problem, Mo.
No, that's us problem. Okay, Iggy Magnus here with us for 4A and 4B. We'll dive into 4B first. Iggs, we got the U and the Vultures. The U might be undermanned on the weekend here. How much of a game changer is that they will not have the artillery to roll with against a very good Vulture team?
Yeah, well, not only that, guys, they played a terrible, and they'd be the first ones to admit it. They played a terrible semifinal game against Les Verts Folles. So they're not just like physically stumbling their way into the finals. Their play is showing that as well, at least in their last game. Look, they're lucky though that Le Vacheval were just as bad as them. Because if not, they're not coming away with the semifinal win to go into the finals. But yeah, on top of that, like you mentioned, Mo, looks like two of their guys are injured. Find out who exactly in my article. So a little preview there.
Okay, that concludes our 4P
Yeah.
coverage. Let's go on to 4A. All
Due
right.
to weird evasiveness from the.
Yeah. Carry on, that Diggs.
Yeah, so look, they're stumbling their way into the finals. It's going to be really hard to. It was already going to be hard for them to say contain Ben McMahon. It's going to be just that much harder. Looks like they may be shorthanded going into the game. We'll see. We'll see on Saturday. I believe it's Saturday at
2 p.m.
2 o'clock.
2 p.m. Or just about. Probably about 2:15, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the schedule is going to be delayed because
Yeah.
games can't start as soon as the other ones end
No,
because
this is
playoffs.
not a conveyor belt.
Yeah, of course. Now on the other side,
you say
you
of
know,
course, but our commissioner didn't seem to get that message.
No.
It's
So
good.
yeah, so for the other side though, for the Vultures, they actually have an interesting storyline going in. Peas, as you know, you and I called their spring championship final, and I didn't recall the specifics of it. But Ben McMahon, to me, you know, we're watching the quarterfinals, Beer Belly versus Voodoo game, and he goes to me and he says, "Man, do you remember that pick I threw?" And I'm like, "Not really, dude. We were calling the game. We were a few beers deep, you know." And he's like, yeah, shit. So what I did is I watched the last segment there of the finals, and they were up 2 scores with about 4 minutes left in the game, and they let that lead evaporate. They let the Bruins score a quick one, and Ben McMahon he first missed Kevin Donnett on a post route that would have iced the game, and then second throws a pick to Louis Bégin, a bit of an untimed route with snapper James Drysdale, and that interception, the Bruins take advantage, turn it into 6 points, maybe 7 or 8, and they steal the championship from the Vultures. So Vultures this year have been playing like they want to get back to the finals. They're here now, and it's a real cool storyline for them to try and seek revenge.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you've faced the Vultures in the playoffs, and we're not successful, obviously, because the Vultures are in the finals. Not saying that to rub salt in the wound. It's the set of context.
I am.
You also, in Week 11, Honey Martin defeated the Vultures 19-6. So what were the two different versions of the Vultures? Why were the two results so drastically different?
So there was actually a couple things there. One of them, it's a schematic thing that we actually did do during the regular season that we didn't do during the quarterfinal game.
Seems like a good decision
looking back on it, we should have done that thing that I thought was a bad idea, but ended up being a good idea after I watched that finals game, something that the Bruins also did. So 10 days later, I'm looking back and just shaking my head like, damn, we should have done this thing to Ben McMahon. The second thing, though, they put James Drysdale as a rusher on David Roaldi, our quarterback for Honey Martin, and he literally had 0 rushing attempts for 0 yards, and Drysdale had 2 sacks. So that was a game changer, as Roaldi likes to mix in the run and the pass to keep defenses on their toes. So we were unable to do that.
So if the U called you up for tips for a defensive scheme, you're giving them what?
Yeah, he just said I wouldn't do it.
But no, but if they do though, like I mean, because look, you guys had some success against them, right? So what would you do if you're the U's captain on defense on trying to contain this offense?
So look, the thing is, they had an advantage vertically. The U did over Vultures. Now it looks like they might not have that advantage anymore, or if they do, it's a very slight one. Look, you may want to play a bit more of man defense, but they don't have a rusher to contain Ben McMahon. So there's
does anybody have a rusher to contain Ben McMahon?
No, but maybe you send 2 rushers on Ben McMahon. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
But you can't do that now because they don't have that advantage that they would have had they had a healthy Nicky Papage and a healthy Justin Perez, which it seems like they don't.
Yeah, there's some holes within that roster of bodies being healthy.
So what can the U do if they're missing players to challenge Vultures?
Honestly, on defense, there's not much they
so
can
they
do.
score every drive,
Like,
basically. That's the thing.
that's the only way that they're gonna win this game is by it's exactly that, scoring on every drive. But defensively, there's literally nothing they can do. It's sad to say, but literally nothing they can do. Unless they try some crazy shifts on defense that just confuse McMahon. But he's playing at such a high level, McMahon is, that he's seeing the field and making the right decisions at an incredibly alert and fast IQ pace that he's just beating everything he sees out there.
All right, on to 4A. We got Mongoose against Small Giants. Small Giants have won their 3 playoff games by a total of 9 points. Mongoose, they are in fuego. They steamrolled Takeover by 19. They took out Stokes by 16. They have been playing great football, probably the hottest team on that side of the bracket. Small Giants, though, they're going to be missing a player or two. Matty Meadows, Johnny won't be there. And I think they're missing another guy. So they might be down a couple players here. Can Mongoose take this vulnerable team to the shed and give them a nice beatdown?
Well, look, I wasn't aware of the
One second,
Small
Iggy,
Giants.
one second. What makes it a nice beatdown? Like you're being thankful
Yeah,
for
very
the
kind.
opportunity.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
guy.
you're saying I'm sorry as you throw.
Yeah,
the
I'm
punches
sorry that I'm
down,
kicking
you know?
your
The
bleep.
Canadian beatdown. Got
Exactly.
it. Got it.
Yeah. Throw some Canadian bacon on it too, you know.
Delicious.
No, look, Mo, you're absolutely right. Mongoose, they're actually on a 6-game win streak. If you go back to the regular season, they have been playing a month and a half of undefeated football. Like you said, definitely one of the hottest teams going in. And not only one of the hottest teams going in, they actually started the season 2-4. So they're actually one of the most improved teams in the division as well. So combine those things together, and this is what you're getting is blowouts, essentially, what blowing out their competition in the quarterfinals and the semis.
I hate them.
You hate them, yes. Well, that's another thing. Pease, I was going to bring this up. I did a little bit of research that I'm preparing for my article. Is that in the takeover game on Monday? The game was on Tuesday, but the Monday calling the audible that you guys did, takeover actually had beaten them in the regular season 39-18 or something. And they beat them 38 to 19. It was almost an identical score, but in reverse for Mongoose. So the point that you made of them being one of the best teams, not only are they one of the hottest teams, not only are they one of the most improved, they're at one of the best at game planning after having being beaten by Takeover, and they were beat down by Small Giants themselves. So look, they have all the recipes to go in, and what I think is they're the underdogs going into the division final against Small Giants. Slight underdogs, yes.
Even though the Giants are going to be missing guys.
Well, you see, I thought before going in that Mongoose were the slight underdogs, but now knowing this information, if they're missing them outright, not even showing up to the game, that changes them to now being slight favorites in my opinion. But don't count out the Small Giants. They've been really, to their name, literally Small Giants. They entered the playoffs on their side of the bracket in Conference A as the number 5 seed. They've taken out the number 1 seed in top season, the number 3 seed in the Bruins, and the number 4 seed in Blackouts. And if Mongoose are on a 6-game win streak, it's not better, but it's still a 5-game win streak that the Small Giants have been on, including 2 victories over the Blackouts. They're very strong and heavily favored Blackouts. So they beat them twice. It's always difficult to beat a team once, even more difficult to beat a team twice, especially when it's a playoff game like they did this past Tuesday. So look, it's set to be a very tight game. I don't think either way it's going to be a blowout. Even if Small Giants are missing 2 of their key guys, I still think it's a very, very tight game.
So Justin Lerner had a very good but somewhat it was a good but not great season, and by that I mean the interception total was higher than you'd like, right? So he will make mistakes, he will take his chances, not as efficient perhaps as he would like to be. Can he withstand throwing interceptions in this game to win?
He's going to have to, whether that's just a matter of the fact, right? He's going to have to, because the Mongoose offense doesn't make that many mistakes, especially recently. Alex Godet has been on fire.
11 touchdowns, no interceptions in the playoffs.
It's insane. He's not turning the ball over, so he's going to have to go, if not 0 interceptions, at least match the same number of interceptions or turnovers that Mongoose presents them.
All right, it is now time for
Games of the Week. And this is the last time we're going to do that. That's a little bit
for
sad.
For like
2
6
weeks.
days.
For like 2
For like
weeks.
6
For like 2 weeks.
Honestly true, though. That's the funny / sad
But
part.
but before we get to games of the week here, don't go off course here. So spring will end August 14th, and then fall will start when, like September after Labor Day, I guess.
No, so what we're trying to do, and we can do this when we wrap the show, but fine, we'll do it now.
Yeah,
Perfect.
full show meeting right here.
We're trying to, because normally we're about 30 days late, let's call it, in terms of the overall schedule. Usually we start spring season like early May. Now we're going to be early June starting the season, so about that. We're trying to compress the spring schedule to end around the same time the original spring schedule ends, which is at like early to mid-August, so that we get everything back on track as of fall, essentially.
So fall Cup would be October?
Fall Cup would start September.
Okay, cool. All right,
Like it normally does.
games of the week.
So because of that, spring will have maybe some double headers for
That's
some
fine.
certain weeks. We have 2 games in a week.
That's
So
no problem.
it's going to be a little bit sucky for people who happen to be on vacation those weeks, but we did ask the community which they preferred, and that seemed to have been the overwhelming result of the preferences. So.
Excellent. It's now time for
Games of the Week.
All right, here we go.
We're going to get some music. And
right.
this one.
Iggy, are you ready for Duns on Sunday?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So we're
Are
gonna
you
go
ready
You're
to
gonna
eat
order-
dinner?
You're going to order cauliflower wings, Mo?
They don't have a Duns, do they?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Can you look online, please? See if they have cauliflower wings?
No, he's going to get like a Cajun chicken salad or something
No.
stupid.
Can't even eat chicken
That would
anymore.
be cute.
You used to.
I used to,
He's on no beef, no beaks.
Yeah. I'm on
Oh,
a
gotta
hipster
go.
diet.
Can't go lean smoked meat at Dunn's. You cannot.
Never,
It's-
never. You go
it-
medium.
No, of
course.
Yes, yeah.
You go lean to begin with? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Nah, that's Schwartz sometimes, but no. Dunn's, forget it. Don't
You're
even.
wrong.
don't
That's fine. All right, we're gonna
Objectively
go
wrong.
with our Saturday games first. So we're gonna start with our Co-ed 1 final: Power Rangers versus Easy Fun. Just to make this easy, Iggy, we're gonna start with you, and then we'll go into the room.
All right. Give me Power Rangers for another co-ed championship.
Give me Easy Fun for the upset.
No, they don't have cauliflower wings. Give me Power Rangers.
Wait, Easy Fun doesn't have cauliflower wings? No, never mind.
They have chicken fingers, but that's PR for me.
All right, our next game, Division 4A: Mongoose versus Small Giants.
Man, Mo, that was some good information about Small Giants there. I was gonna go Small Giants. I'm making a switch to Mongoose.
I heard Tongoose. That's all I heard. That's like crack.
So, Justin Lerner, we're friends. I love you, dude. We were teammates in the past. I'm so happy with everything you've done. You need to do this for me. You need to beat Mongoose. I'm so angry they're back. They're a bane to my existence. My life is forever altered by having faced them in a final. That said, unfortunately, I have to pick Mongoose.
Yeah, Mongoose for me. The
They're
loss of manpower
They're
hurts.
ridiculous in playoffs. It's
Yeah.
stupid. I hate them so much.
Loss of manpower.
All right, next Division 4B, the U versus Vultures.
Vultures. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah,
No, whatever. That was fine. I was gonna say I'm not gonna pick it and read it in my article. So
yeah, it's true.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I hate picking against the U. Every time I do it, they win a championship. So you know what? I want to pick Vultures because I do think Vultures will win. But you can't be mad if you're the U because I basically handed you multiple. Because we're doing this thing where we're like everything that happens is because of us, because of our ego. So because of me, you've won championships because I keep picking against you. So Vultures.
Yeah, I picked Vultures.
All right, our next game, Division 5A, the Reet versus Balls Deep.
oh, man, Dawson Pierre is just nasty. Give
And that's
me the
just
Reed.
one of the ridiculous.
It's
things,
one
yeah.
player. That's just one player.
Yeah.
My pick, Reet. It won't be close.
I don't think this will be close. This is, I think by that point in the evening, I'm done working. I will be drunk by halftime.
We pick it.
Yeah, he said the
The
Reed.
Reed. It won't be
All
close. Would you think Balls Deep is going to
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
that? No.
yeah.
The Reed.
And our
Come on.
last game of Saturday is going to be Division 5B, Trap Stars versus Lockdown.
Eagle, your pick?
My pick is Iggy's not going to mute the stream, and everything's going to go well.
My pick is that you will have no audio for your final.
Yeah, exactly. How
Or
funny
just
would that
audio
be?
and no video.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go lockdown for this one. Eagle, congratulations.
Trap Stars.
For a short period of time, I've had the fact that I have one championship to hold over Eagle's head. Unfortunately, I will not have that after this weekend. I'm picking Lockdown, and my heart wants Lockdown too. Yeah, we're leaving early. Let's pick up some cannolis on the way.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Okay. I got Trap Stars.
All right, our Sunday
So Mo will
games.
buy us cannolis on Sunday.
Yeah, right.
We're going to start at 8:40 a.m. Lakeshore Pee-wee Bombers. No, I'm just kidding. Co-ed 2,
I was like, I don't
4
even know
o'clock.
what this is.
Kiss My End Zone versus Fit Squad.
Can't pick it, boys.
So Kiss My End Zone by 50 then?
Sure, I'll do the peace thing. Sure.
I think Fit Squad is the worst matchup for Kiss My End Zone, but I do think Kiss My End Zone pull it out.
Easy
There's
fun.
too much on Easy Fun
Yeah.
in the game they're not playing.
I know. No.
All right.
I got Kiss My End Zone.
You totally didn't do
I
that
know.
on purpose. I saw it in your face. You panicked.
All right, next game, Division 6, Thunder Buddies versus Primetime.
I like Thunder Buddies in this one.
Yeah, second that.
I'm gonna third that.
Peas were
Okay.
calling that game.
We are calling that game.
And then
So wait,
immediately
can we not pick it because we're calling the game and
No.
the professional media thing that they stupidly do, even though everyone cheers? Go ahead.
Division 6D, Killer Rays versus Maccabees.
Man, we've well, at least Jonathan Yeagerman keeps telling us, you're doubting us, you're doubting us.
I
All
don't
right,
think he.
not
I don't
doubting
think he
any-
can read. Is the thing. That's the issue.
Yeah, no, not for you. I'm saying
Okay.
he's been telling me a few times. Give me the Maccabees in this one.
So here's the thing. I'm still convinced they have some beef with me.
They have beef with both of us.
Because they're not listening. So they're very good. They're really good. I think they're super
Yeah.
talented. But Killer Rays are gonna smack a bees. Give me Killer Rays.
I'll take Maccabees, but I think Killer Rays will win.
Smackabees. They're done. They're cooked.
All
It's
right.
over, Rock.
Division 1, All Stars versus Braves.
Oh my God, this is not always just come down to the last possession, whoever has the ball.
Yes. Welcome to Div 1.
Yeah, I think that person's gonna be Kevin Wyatt with the ball. Give me All Stars.
Give me Brace.
Give me All Stars. Yeah, why not? I don't know. All Stars. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. Division 3, Blessed versus Junkyard Dogs.
Yeah, that's a matchup that it's tough for Blessed, but still give me blessed for back-to-back Division 3, Division C championships.
There's no better play caller in FPF. There's no better play designer in FPF than Stephen Harperside. We talked about that during the Division 3 part of the show. Junkyard Dogs rely a lot on their athleticism. I think it'll be the downfall. Give me blessed.
Blessed.
And our last game, Division 2, KGP versus Terror Squad.
They're back.
Every season.
This is like that you thing where you pick against them and they win. Lesson learned. Lesson be learned. Give me KGP for the quadruple back to back to back to back.
One better than Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Last time they played each other, August 20th, I score kept that game, and KGP won in the last play.
Why do you ever think that that's an interesting tidbit? Who scored
August?
kept the game?
April 20th. Won in the last play. Same thing will play out. They'll win in the last play again.
So, you know when you hire a painter and you're changing the color of your walls because you got fed up with the original color and the color you chose is not quite the same? Has this ever happened to you? So, like, you choose the color and then when it goes up on the wall, the light hits it and it's slightly different than what you expect. And then you're sitting there late at night after the paint's dried and you've come to this incredible realization that every time you paint, your room gets slightly smaller. KGP.
Well, all right.
All right.
This is the wrap up for our production for the Calling the Audible segment. But feel free to join us Saturday, Sunday live at Brossard. Iggy, I'm hanging up on you. Okay, bye.
Iggy.
We are.
How can you watch it?
Yeah, so you can be able to watch this. We're going to have it live streaming on Facebook. Check out our Facebook page, Flag Plus Football. The games will then be re-uploaded onto YouTube in the full length, so you can go in and rewatch them and everything. But for the most part, everything is going to go onto Face Book. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff.
And follow Instagram because they'll have some stuff as well, I would imagine. Yes.
We think.
We hope.
We're doing a lot of planning on the fly, in case you haven't noticed by today's show. Mo, you look like you're holding a leash to one of my appendages.
I know. It looks like it is. All right, Magic Words, please.
I did the call sign test on the new Top Gun site. I am Turbo.
Look at that goose.
Can I just be Eagle?
Nope, doesn't work that way. It's amazing. Mo only gets super old pop culture references. And now I know where I gotta go. Sports and 1980s pop culture.
Get your ass up if you're slipping. Put another smile up